Hey Hiker Trash fam, I'm out here on the Arroyo Seco Basin. I've come over the Gabrielino Trail into the old, kind of abandoned Oak Wild campsite. Now, because we're in the Angeles National Forest, I'm considering this dispersed camping. This campsite's actually closed, so there's no actual bathrooms or anything here. The picnic table has been buried to the ground, it looks like. The fire pit is buried into a little pit area. Right now in the Angeles National Forest, fires are not allowed. But I did bring my backpacking setup, and I kind of wanted to go over what I carry for an overnight adventure like this, or short backpacking trip. This is not the setup I'll use on the Pacific Crest Trail. I'll actually move up to my Waymark Evolve, from my Waymark Evolve up to my Waymark Through, which is a 40-liter pack, just so I have a little bit extra room for food. So let's go through the pack. Okay, so first, this is the pack right here. It is a Evolve, Waymark Evolve. It's a 35-liter pack. On top of it, I have a Gossamer Gear 1/4-inch, 1/8-inch foam pad. This is a luxury item. This is not my sleep pad. This is just what I sit around at camp. I may put it under my sleep pad to give myself a little bit of cushioning, so that if there's any needles on the ground. But here it looks pretty smooth. So this is my setup. Let's go ahead and open it up. So actually, let's describe the pack a little bit. It's got your typical front pocket here. In my front pocket right now, I have my base layer that I wore this morning. I have my ditty bag. Now I'll go over my ditty bag in another video. Look at the card at the top. I have my water filtration. I'm using the Katadyn Be Free with a knock bag. I do bring an extra filter because of that trip on the Pacific Crest Trail when my filter didn't work and I was severely dehydrated. So I've got my water filter in here. I have my electronics, which has a couple batteries for the camera I'm using. Ooh, that was a weird noise. I have a couple batteries for the camera I'm using, my battery pack, and a couple batteries for my GoPro. This is my rock bag. This has a 50 feet of paracord in it that I use to hang my bear bag. I have an extra bag for trash, or this one I believe I brought for my camera because it is supposed to rain tonight, and a buff. Now a buff is very important. It's a very useful piece of equipment. You can put it over your face if you need to cover your face for dirt, over your ears if you're getting, need sun protection. You can wet it, wipe yourself off, use it as a rag, use it to, pick up pots. Very helpful item. And I have my tent stakes. Today I am using the Easton stakes. These are nice stakes. I do have one titanium shepherd's hook in here, just in case. And that's all for in here. On the outside, I have, for this time, I brought two 1.5-liter bottles full of water. I wasn't sure if there's gonna be water close by that I could filter. There is. So I may have been able to get away on this trail with just two 750 milliliter bottles on the side. On the front, I have my camera hook to hold my camera. I have my inReach so I can talk to my wife and anyone back home, or if there's an emergency. I'm using the Waymark shoulder pad with a 750 milliliter water bottle. This is so I can have quick access to water on the trail. I don't have to reach back. My flexibility is a little bad. So that's what's on that side of the pack. So if we open up the pack, it's a roll top pack. First thing you'll get is my food bag in here. So since it's an overnight, I have one dinner, one lunch, one breakfast. I ate breakfast before I left. I'll eat lunch in a little bit. I'll eat dinner tonight, and then I'll have breakfast in the morning. I'll have some snacks back, and I'll eat lunch when I get home. Inside here, for this trip, I am cold soaking. So I have my Talenti jar. I have my spoon. For lunch, I have 2 complete cookies. For breakfast, I have 3 of these glazed donut protein bars, maple. And then for dinner tonight, we'll be cold soaking couscous that has taco seasoning in it. I have 2 packets of sriracha if I want to spice it up a little bit, and 1 pack of tuna. So that'll be dinner. About 30 minutes before I'm ready to eat, 30-45 minutes, I'll put it all in here, minus the tuna and the sriracha. Put some water in here, and then I'll just let it sit while I chill around. So that's my food stuff. The next thing we have is my tent. This is the Z-Pax Duplex. It's a 2-person Dyneema carbon fiber, or Cuban fiber. Dyneema composite fiber. It used to be called Cuban fiber. I keep forgetting. DCF, Dyneema. And then right up against my back, I have my, I can't get it out, but there we go. I have my sleep pad. This is a Thermarest Neo Air. Okay, I'm using a Nylofrim bag right here to make sure. To keep the pack, water, everything that I want to keep dry. There is supposed to be rain tonight, and this hike is really about testing out my gear in a rainstorm close to home. So for warmth, I have my thermal. This is a Enlightened Equipment Apex. There are some gloves in here in the pocket in case I need them, but that's super lightweight, super warm. I have my Enlightened Equipment this rain jacket right here. So I think most likely I'll have this with my base layer, and that should keep me warm on the hike back and dry. I don't really worry about my legs. I do have, in case it is really cold, I do have a pair of just jogging pants. These are real lightweight, cheap. They're a little heavier than what you would want on a through hike, but I like them, so I'll take the weight hit there. And then in the bottom, in a Z-Pax stuff sack, I have my quilt. Now, I don't use a sleeping bag. I use a quilt, because when you're laying on top of a sleeping bag, you're actually compressing that down, and you're not getting any warmth from it. I get warmth from my sleeping pad, which puts a layer of air between me. So this is my compressed 20-degree Enlightened Equipment quilt. I got the Enigma, which a quilt is, if you want to picture this, just a blanket, but mine has a sewed foot box to kind of keep me stationary. And it's 20-degree down fill, 850 fill. And that is what I carry on my typical overnight pack. Now, if I were going to be on an extended pack where I was going to do resupplies, or I would have to carry food for longer, I just up to my through, which is a 40 liter, would give me 5 more liters of room to stuff stuff in. But that's my pack. So this is the tent pitched. It uses 2 trekking poles to pitch, and it can pitch with 6 tent stakes or 8 to make all the different pitching good. So this is the tent right here. There's the sleeping pad all filled up for the night. That'll keep me off the ground and keep me nice and toasty. And here's my quilt on it. You can see the quilt does not have a bottom. You look here, it's flat. It does have this sewed foot box right here. 20 degrees should keep me nice and toasty tonight. Here for a little bit, I've got my tent set up. I've got my sleeping bag, my sleeping quilt in there. I'm all ready. I've got my bear bag line hung. So I just wanted to close this out by saying, look over the video, and I kind of covered it pretty quickly. But if you have any questions, just reach out to me.